I think the question you're really asking is a very important question, is will learners feel demotivated and demoralized if the language is so far over their heads that they're only getting sort of 10-20% of it? And I think that's a good question, and I think we've done everything we can to prevent that happening through offering support in the listening exercises themselves, through a authentic listening skills syllabus, which provides students with strategies for understanding native speech, so that not just with a particular talk that they're looking at, but over time they build up a series of skills, bottom-up skills, that's to say looking at how the language works, looking at how it's pronounced, how word boundaries merge and that kind of thing, at some top-down skills, in other words looking at ways that you can prepare yourself for a listening and through prediction and so on. So that over time, as I say, they build up a range of strategies that help them to listen and understand native speech more easily. So we provide that support. We also focus on collaboration. This isn't a test. We're not trying to trip anyone up. We're not trying to say, no, that's wrong and this is right. We're trying to help them and guide them through collaboration with their fellow students to a better understanding of some really interesting ideas. And so through those methods, I think we've done a lot to say, yes, they will understand this material and we are helping them. One quite interesting thing, when you look at the comments under TED Talks, it's actually true of YouTube clips as well, is how many people, when they're commenting on something, don't actually give their point of view. A lot of the people who listen to these things are non-native speakers anyway. They just take a chunk, perhaps it's a phrase, perhaps it's a sentence, something they've heard, and rather than just giving a comment, they just repeat what they've heard, so a little section of the talk. And that struck me as something really interesting when I was looking at comments under these talks, because it tells you something. It tells you that whatever people understood, there was something in there. There was an idea, perhaps a way of phrasing an idea that really resonated with them. And so much so that they felt compelled to kind of take it and put it down on paper and put it in a comment underneath. And if our students feel nothing more than that, if they take nothing more than a well-expressed idiomatic idea, a couple of sentences even from a talk, that would be enough for me. That would be a great achievement. That would be fantastic. So, yeah.
Another way of putting that question might be, won't B1 learners be demoralized having to deal with this fairly high-level talk in the classroom? Even though we've chosen ones that we think will be as appropriate as possible, there's still, frankly, challenging language for a B1 learner. But I think you could equally say, if a B1 learner has in the classroom only ever dealt with graded, slowed down, very accessible, clear language, when they then leave the classroom and go out into the real world of English use, won't they feel demoralized to realize that they don't understand anything because it's all too fast and too complex? So what we're doing is giving them this authentic, this ungraded, raw input and building confidence in learners to deal with that sort of situation. If you've ever studied a language and gone and tried to participate in a conversation with imperfect understanding, it's incredibly challenging, it's difficult, but it's a fact of being a language learner. So what language learners need is to develop skills, authentic listening skills that Paul referred to, and just the kind of mental strength to stick with an L2, a second language situation that they're in where they don't understand everything. And rather than just shutting down and saying, I can't possibly follow this, we're helping them through to say, all right, I didn't get that, but I did get this. And to kind of pick and choose and find what they can follow and use contextual clues. Also, the TED Talks in the classroom are watched more than once. So that's not exactly asking for repetition, but it is giving them more than one pass. at certain difficult material. So would it be appropriate to send a B1 learner off to watch a TED Talk and answer some questions about it? Probably not. Is it appropriate to use a TED Talk with a lot of support in the classroom for B1 learners? Definitely. There's a huge amount to offer there.